Live from our headquarters at Asmara with your domestic and international news in brief. I'm Zahra Badouri. This is your English news broadcast here on ERi-TV, and these are your major headlines for this broadcast. Meeting on the progress of development programs. Workshop on documentation and distribution of vegetable seeds. Israeli military announces daily pause in Gaza areas to allow aid for the hungry. Rwanda and Tanzania signed 2 cooperation agreements on agriculture port services. Welcome to your Domestic in Brief, an activity assessment meeting on progress of development programs during the first half of this year and the implementation plan for the second half was conducted in Gashbarka region on 25th of this July in Barantu. At the conference, sub-zonal administrators and managing directors presented reports highlighting achievements registered and challenges encountered. The reports focused on activities carried out in the first half of the year 2025, including strengthening institutions, expanding social services provision, promoting water and soil conservation, supporting families of martyrs, and other related issues. The participants held extensive discussion on the reports and adapted various recommendations. These included addressing shortcomings in water and soil conservation activities and conducting broad-based awareness campaigns to eradicate female genital mutilation, among others. Speaking at the event, Ambassador Mahmoud Ali Hurui, governor of the region, called for greater attention to enhancing production and productivity and addressing the limitations in soil and water conservation programs. He also urged administrations at all levels to strengthen public engagement in the implementation of development programs. The Ministry of Agriculture organized a workshop to discuss a draft resolution aimed at documenting and distribution of vegetable seeds developed at agricultural research centers and those entering the country through various means. The seminar was attended by minister staff from all regions and agricultural experts. Mr. Takhlaab Ms. Ginna, Director General of Regulatory Services at the Ministry of Agriculture, stated that the National Committee established in the year 2024 to regulate the distribution and equality of various crops, cereals and oilseeds has commenced its activity by developing a guideline to support its operations. In the first half of the year 2025, a guideline to regulate potato seeds quality was prepared and regulations for vegetable seed quality have been finalized. Mr. Takhlaab added that both domestically improved and imported vegetable seeds will be assessed through specific quality measures, documented and issued certificates before being distributed to farmers. At the workshop, participants discussed papers on the importance of documentation and regulation of vegetable seeds and the significance of adhering to established guidelines and regulations. Extensive discussion followed the presentation. Up next, your global. Stay tuned for more. Your international news. The Israeli military has declared a tactical pause to its attacks in parts of the Gaza Strip as aid operations get underway at crossing points once more. A local tactical pause in military activity will take place for humanitarian purpose starting today in Gaza, the regime's military announced on Sunday. This is not the first time the Israeli forces have announced a tactical pause to military operations in the part of Gaza. Israeli forces, however, regularly announce tactical pauses in quotation in specific areas of Gaza that usually last an hour and normally allow the safe passage of the UN's humanitarian aid through these locations. In its announcement, the Israeli military said attacks will be paused in Al-Mahousi, Dar al-Balah and Gaza City every day until further notice. This decision was coordinated with UN and international organizations following discussions regarding the matter. In addition, designated secure routes will be in place permanently, enabling the safe passage of UN and humanitarian aid organizations convoying, delivering and distributing food and medicine to the population across the Gaza Strip. It added that it is prepared to expand the scale of this activity as required. Meanwhile, Israeli forces destroyed more than 1,000 aid trucks after the apparent collapse of the ceasefire talk between Israel negotiators and representatives of the Palestinian Hamas resistance group governing Gaza with the mediation of the United States. The Israeli regime forces destroyed vast stockpiles of essential supplies meant for Gaza, including food and medicine, as the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugee warns that mass starvation in the Strip is deliberate. At least 59,733 Palestinians have been killed, mostly women and children, and another 144,477 individuals, including injuring in the brutal Israeli onslaught on Gaza since October 7, 2023. On your final report, Rwanda and Tanzania on Saturday signed 2 memoranda of understanding to facilitate cooperation in agriculture and the establishment of a Tanzanian port liaison office in Kigali, the capital of Rwanda. The agreements were signed by Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Oliver Nudongri, and Tanzanian counterpart Mahmoud Thabit Kambo during a ministerial session of the 16th Joint Permanent Commission between the two countries in Kigali. The ministers emphasized the importance of the JPC as a platform of advanced dialogue and expand avenues for cooperation between Rwanda and Tanzania, noting that the planned liaison office in Kigali will streamline port-related service for Rwandan importers and exporters. Nudongri praised the cooperation between the two countries, highlighting Tanzania's contribution to Rwanda's economic growth through improved operations at the port of Dar es Salaam, which handles more than 70% of Rwanda's international trade. He said he often referred to Rwanda as a land-linked country that works closely with partners like Tanzania through the Central Corridor and the port of Dar es Salaam, and in quotation, "We are grateful for the facilitation provided by Tanzania and its critical infrastructure," he added. The meeting aimed to set up a joint technical committee tasked with addressing trade and transport challenges faced by businesses in both countries. Dear viewers, that was your tonight's English reports here from ERi-TV. This is a recap of your today's major headlines for this broadcast. Meeting on the progress of development programs. Workshop on documentation and distribution of vegetable seeds. Israeli military announces a pause in attacks on Gaza. Rwanda and Tanzania sign a 2 cooperation agreement on agriculture. That is all from us here on ERi-TV. Stay tuned for more and keep updating yourself with some more news here on ERi-TV. For now, bye-bye.